What's up, you guys? Oscar JC here. I'm back with another video. And wait a second, hold on. Something's wrong here. Give me 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Okay, cool. That's much better. All right. Anyway, so welcome back to another video. I am excited to share this video. If you follow me on Instagram, you should be following me on Instagram. But anyways, if you're following me on Instagram, you notice that I posted a story on a couple of questions that I posted on there a while back, or actually no, earlier this week. I was reading an article that said that 80 to 90% of millennials and college students and Generation Z can't answer this 6-question quiz all correctly, like to get 100% on it. They can't seem to get all of the questions right. And so I posted it on my story, and it was true. I posted on my story, and a bunch of friends and people who follow me answered them, and only one person out of like 78 to 80 people got them all right. Only one person. And so I was shocked. The questions are about money, finances, and credit cards. And so I challenged everybody to answer them, and only one person got them all right. So I wanted to go over the questions and explain why the answers that are correct and why they are correct. And so so the first question that article asked, it says, if a late payment is sent to a collection agency, how long will it remain on your credit history, even if you have paid it all off? The correct answer is 6 to 7 years. More of the companies that hold our credit, like Experian and TransUnion, they hold it for like 7 years on your credit history, on your report. That's why it's very important to pay on time, to pay everything off, never pay late, never pay things after it's sent to collection agent. That's not a good thing. So the second question, what is the formula for calculating your net worth? So for those of you who know net worth is pretty much a person's value based on what they own, on what they have, and on what they have bought, on what they do, etc., right? So the answers says assets plus liabilities. Okay, so before I answer the question, if you don't know what an asset is, let me tell you, an asset is something that you have that can make you money, right? An asset is something that you own that can produce profit and income to you, right? So for example, if you have a home is an asset because when you live in the home, you own it and you invest into the home, and then you sell it when you move somewhere. That home can make you money when you sell it, right? So that's an asset. And also an asset could be, for example, a business loan, right? Business loan is money that you borrow, right, for your business, but you invest it into your business, and that in return will make you more money, right? So that's an asset, something that makes you money. A liability is something that does not make you money. It's actually a waste. It's an expense. It's something that just sits there. It doesn't bring any money in return. A liability can be, for example, a very expensive purse, right? Purses that are $300, $500, thousands of dollars. That's a liability, because if that purse gets lost or gets stolen or gets destroyed somehow, you just lost on $1,000. That's never gonna be returned back to you. Liability can be in expensive shoes, expensive clothing, expensive apparel, right? Expensive material stuff like cars. If you're just gonna spend hundreds of thousands, $1 million on a vehicle, right, that you're never gonna sell, you're gonna keep, like, that's a liability. If that car gets destroyed, that car gets totaled, you lost on that money. It doesn't matter if you have insurance or anything, you just lost out on the value of that purchase. So liability is something that is never gonna give you money. It's always gonna give you debt. It's always gonna keep you in that hole, okay? So what is the formula for calculating your net worth? So assets plus liabilities. A lot of people answered this question with that answer, thinking that, what I have that makes me money plus what I owe and what things that don't make me money together, that's my net worth. So it's not the right answer, because we're not adding them together. We want to see what you are worth, right? What's the difference, right? So the second answer is liabilities minus assets. Calculating your net worth is not, let me see how much it cost me minus how much I paid for it, right? It has to be C, which is assets minus liabilities, right? What you own own that makes you money, that makes you income and profit, minus the things that are costs that don't make you money in return, that are just dead, dead stuff that are never gonna make you income. Okay, number 3, it says, imagine that the interest rate on your savings account was 1% per year and inflation was 2% per year. After 1 year, would your ability to buy something with the money in this account be more than today, exactly the same, only 2% more than today, or less than today? It's actually a very tricky question. A lot of people had trouble with this one. So the correct answer to this question is less than today, right? First of all, when you have money in the savings account and you're generating 1% on that money that's sitting there at the bank, but inflation, what is inflation? Inflation is devaluing the money, right? It's worth less over time, right? So it over time, it depreciates the value of the money. So if your account, the savings account, is only generating 1%, right? But the inflation is 2%. So you're gonna get the worth of the percentage on the interest rate on your savings account, which is 1%, minus, right, the difference that is depreciating, that's devaluing, which is 2%. So 1 minus 2 is -1, which is the answer is less than today. So number 4, which of the following is correct when it comes to your financial wealth? So A says always pay yourself first, B, always pay your bills first, C, make and spend all your money, and D, save your money in a regular bank account. A lot of people got this question wrong, a lot of people, and I can see why a lot of people get this question wrong, and I want to explain that. So the correct answer to this question is always pay yourself first. The top answer for this question was always pay your bills first. That is not the secret or the best thing to do for your financial wealth. Why? Because let me just tell you this simple thing. I know some millionaires, and millionaires that I know some billionaires. How they got to where they are, they always pay themselves first, right? So every single time you get a paycheck, right, from your job or from a career, from a business that you have, you always take a percentage of that paycheck and move it to an account, right? And then, which will also explain why save your money in a regular bank account is not the correct answer, because a regular bank account, right, and your Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America, US Bank, your regular bank accounts, they only give you like 0.00001% on interest annually on that money that you put in that savings account. That's nothing. That's nothing. You want to put your money, right, the money that you pay yourself, you want to put your money in an investment, right, an investment savings account, or in a Roth IRA or a 401k, right? You want to put your money in that, because putting your money in there, some banks, not the big banks, some banks, they will give you, some banks can give you up to 3% in annual interest rate just for that money sitting there. And I mean, how many of you like to just receive free money for doing absolutely nothing? I think everybody loves that, right? So by keeping your money sitting in the savings, and the investment savings account, a Roth IRA or 401k, you're gonna collect interest every single year on that money just sitting there. So when you pay yourself first, right, meaning taking a percentage out of that paycheck that you get, putting it into that savings account, and letting that money just accumulate over the years, obviously it's not overnight, it's over the years, you will have made a lot of money just by having the money just sit there. So why do people pay, why do people always pay your bills first? Because majority of people, especially millennials now, we know that we want to be responsible, we want to pay all our bills first, we want to get that out of the way. So the mentality of the majority of human beings have is, let me pay my bills first, and then whatever is left, that's what I'll use to, for myself, right? Wrong. Don't do that. Studies show that those who pay their bills first are always living paycheck to paycheck, are the ones who are struggling financially, and their net worth is just very, very low. Because you're paying your bills first, you're not allowing your money to flow to pay you, right? So what do? You pay yourself first, you get that paycheck, say $1,000 for 2 weeks. You get that paycheck, get a percentage, 20, 30% out of that. You put that money not in a regular savings account, but you put that money into an investment account, right? And then the difference, right, that's what you have left over for your bills. Number 5, if you have too many credit cards, what should you always do? A says close as many as possible. We don't want to close credit cards. Never close credit cards. We know this because if you close credit cards, that affects your credit score dramatically. Because remember, a big part of your credit score is your credit history, your credit age, how long you have had credit for. If you cancel your credit cards, that's canceling pretty much your history of it. So you never want to close your credit cards. You always want to use your credit cards. Second, request a higher credit limit. I can see why people chose this one, right? Because requesting a higher credit limit does increase your credit availability, and therefore it decreases your credit usage or utilization. But that's not the best answer for this question. The best answer is be cautious about closing credit cards, right? In other words, you want to be cautious that you never close them, but that you're always using them, right? Regardless of if it's your first credit card, your last credit card, you always want to use it by paying something. And then the last part of the question, or the last answer that you can choose from, is max out all your credit cards. That is the stupidest thing anybody can ever do. I have learned from that. I'm currently learning from that. That's the dumbest thing, right? I pretty much researched and found all this on my own by experience. You never want to max out your credit cards. Never. Now, what I mean by maxing out your credit cards is just, let's say you have a credit card for $2,000 and you just use it all up the first week you get it, and that's it. Use it all up, boom, I'm out of money. Let me get another credit card, use that one all up, right, and never pay it. That's exactly what people think when they think max out credit cards. I made a course explaining this more in detail, and I'll put in a link down in the description when it's ready. It should be ready by the end of June, so I'm hoping for that. Be a lookout for my credit course. Yeah, that was my sales pitch for you to get my credit course. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so in credit, right? When you have a credit card, you want to use your credit card. You want to just use your credit card and then pay it off in full, right? You never want to leave a balance on your credit card, because then you collect interest, and we don't want that, right? We don't want to pay interest. Never pay interest on anything. Number 6, the last one. As a general rule, how many months expenses are you supposed to set aside in an emergency fund? So A is 1 to 3 months, B is 3 to 6 months, C is 6 to 12 months, and D doesn't matter as long as you have enough. A lot of people surprisingly chose it doesn't matter as long as you have enough. No, you want to calculate all your expenses. This is what I've been starting to do, and it's amazing. You want to get your bank account statement, and what you want to do is you want to write down every single expense you have. That are your bills, your subscriptions, how much money you spend on food, your gas, everything. Just write everything down and calculate how much you have every month. To have 3 to 6 months for an emergency fund. I did this for a while when I had my other job, and I got in an accident, small incident. I rammed into somebody in the back of the car, and it ruined my front and it ruined their back. So I had this emergency saved up, and obviously insurance covered most of it, but you have to pay your deductible. My deductible is $1,000, and at the time I was like, oh, that $1,000 it just hits hard. But when you have those emergency funds, right, you can easily just use that for that, right? So that's why you make that emergency fund. So just in case, for those one-time large expenses, those one-time large emergency expenses, you want to have those available to you at all times. So I hope it made sense, all those questions and all the answers that I gave you guys. I actually did the test before I looked at the answers. Like, honestly, I promise, to you guys and to God. I took the test and I got them all right. I was actually very surprised. So thank you so much for watching this video. I know this is a new type of video, and I'm going to be putting up more of these videos up for you guys. But definitely it's important to talk about finances and money and credit cards, because I notice a lot of millennials, people my generation and generation that's coming before or after us, they don't know nothing about finances. They don't teach us about this in school. Like never, ever have I ever learned about finances or credit cards or money ever in school. They just, I mean, you learn about the economy, right? You learn about economics and whatever, but that's not about your personal finance and your personal credit cards and money and stuff like that. So very important. That's why I'm going to discuss more about this over time. I will let you guys know when I launch my credit course. That way you guys can purchase it and learn so much about credit. I took many months of research hours of sitting down and research, calling questions, asking millionaires, asking billionaires, and so many mentors of mine a bunch of things, questions about credit. And so I learned so much, and I gathered all the information and put it all together for you guys so you guys can learn and not research and take hours and months like I did. But anyways, this has been another video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Liked these type of videos about money and finance and credit cards, make sure you like this video, subscribe so that way you never miss any of these type of videos that I'll be launching throughout the summer, and share it with your friends. Okay, share it with your friends. I don't know what else. Oh, comment what you think below on the questions and the answers. What would you have answered on these questions if I didn't tell you the answers? I would love to know. Cool. All right, peace out guys, take care, see you in your next video.